Lane Trowell from the speech class online with Dr. Johnson. Death, homelessness, despair, drugs, prostitution. Stephen Lopez from the LA Times wrote an article I want to read you. It's called "Demons Are Winning on Skid Row." The call comes in at 11:18 in the morning. Possible overdose on Skid Row, just half a block from one of the busiest firehouses in the United States. Firefighter, paramedic David Chavez is 42. He grabs the blank incident report and marches towards his Rescue 9 ambulance with his partner. At 11:20, they pull out of the station and Chavez is taking in the devastation on San Julio Street in downtown LA. People stumble and rant. They lie in filth. They trap you with their eyes that threaten and plead. Roughly about 10,000 people flop on the road at Skid Row. About half of them are mentally ill. The landscape is relentlessly bleak, and the stench of rotting trash and misery is everywhere. We're on the scene at 11:22. The possible overdose is on her side, writhing on the grimy sidewalk. A few of her friends close by look like a cast of ghosts. Ulcerated skin, ripped raw by needles. The woman is 25 and says she shot up heroin about 10 hours ago. Right here in the open, where heroin is easier to buy than a carton of milk, and crack pipes light up the night like fireflies. Think it's syphilis or gonorrhea, says Sporty, a bony addict who calls the distressed woman his friend. It's driven her mad. No, another female junkie says, she got some bad heroin and the needle prick got infected. She was so desperately ill, but they'd been telling her to go to the hospital for over a week. She just wouldn't listen. Chavez examines her with his hands, encased in white rubber gloves. She looks so young, but so old at the same time. With bony cheeks and haughty eyes, she squirms and wails and jerks, too wildly for Chavez to get a blood pressure or an EKG. "What's your name?" he says, trying to calm her down. The answer is mush. She tries again and again, rubber-mouthed. It sounds like she's saying Christina, which Chavez writes down. Her tongue is dry and caked. She says her eyes are burning. It doesn't really add up to Chavez. He thinks she's gotten something else on board besides heroin. He wants to tap a vein in case he needs to get an IV started or run a line, but he's got nothing left to work with. You see the track marks in her neck point out like little chicken-footed etchings. 25, and she's destroyed herself, drug out, curled up on the wretched streets. Chavez finally gets a blood pressure reading and a pulse of 75. She's stable, or so it may be seen. The siren parts the traffic and the ambulance starts off down the well-worn route from Skid Row to County USC Medical Hospital. See, it all seems hopeless, seems lost, but there is a light in the darkest part of Los Angeles. The Los Angeles Dream Center is a place for anyone who has a need. Matthew Barnett, in his book, writes about a dream he had when he was a very young little boy. He wanted to build a church that was open 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Just like the Whataburger him and his dad would be at every Sunday night after church. Well, that dream started coming true for him in 1994. Pastor Barnett came to Los Angeles and started a church. In 1995, they began reaching out to the community and giving away food and clothing. Within 1 year, they helped about 500 people. It became so big that they needed a new place. They didn't have enough room for everything that they were trying to accomplish. So they started searching for a new property. They found a vacant hospital deep in inner city LA. They were blessed a year later to get to buy it. Now the problems are still very real in that city. There's poor people without food, clothing, or shelter. They're uneducated. There's sex trafficking, drug use, and little to no health care. The Dream Center has a motto: find a need and fill it, find a hurt and heal it. It is a literal and emotional hospital to that community. They have over 10 different outreaches. One of the first ones is a food outreach. They send a mobile truck to and from the neighborhoods, giving out free food to whoever needs it. They also take food called Under the Bridge for passerbyers or people that are just out on their luck and spending the night under the bridge, and take food to them as well. They have a clothing bank. You can come to the Dream Center and get clothes, and they also take clothes out into the community. They have educational programs. They have something they call DC Academy, where you can get your GED. Or they also have a thing that they call Connections, that if you're in rehab with them, you can get your schooling education as well. They do job training after you get your GED, and they have certification programs and life skills classes. They do health care. You can come into the Dream Center and get free health care. They also have a mobile medical truck that goes into the neighborhoods and does free clinics. They also teamed up with another church that has a made-over RV that does prenatal care for free. They even have ultrasounds inside that old RV. They do parenting classes. They have after-school activities like the Lord's Gym Community Center, where they also do leagues for sports. They have a program they call residential recovery. It's a one-year program for men and women with any kind of like substance abuse, anger management problems, emotional abuse. People go through the one-year in-house program and lives are changed. They also adopt a block. They'll take groups of people that come in to volunteer into the neighborhoods, and they'll go door to door knocking, and they just ask people, how can we help you? They mow lawns, they visit the elderly, they paint over graffiti, they clean people's houses, do minor repairs. One of the last things they do is they provide homes. They've got a Hope for the Homeless youth program where the youth are allowed to sit in there. They also have a people in a recovery outreach program as well. The Dream Center does not want to stop there. They have a future. They want to open a wing for human trafficking and sex victims that are caught in the slave trade. They also want to do a pregnancy program where teenage pregnant women can come in, have their babies, and be supported and live there for a season. They also want to do a future for a family, would be a whole wing of the hospital just for families to get back on their feet. The Dream Center, all their various programs and outreaches touch about 40,000 lives a month. They have their doors open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, just like Matthew Barnett's dream as a child. The mayor of Los Angeles and the city council have acknowledged the impact of the Dream Center and have praised its efforts, says the Front Gate Media. Prostitution is down 73%, homicide is down 28%, and rape is down 23%. Yeah, it's a battle on Skid Row, but the demons are definitely not winning.